This conference will now be recorded.
So I'll use the same notepad for all the classes. I created one notepad with the name 7:30 p.m. and current month Power View. I'll use the same notepad for all the Power View classes. So the complete Power BI course is divided into 4 different modules. Already in the introduction class, we discussed that the complete Power BI course is divided into 4 different modules. So what are the 4 modules is first one what you have here? Power Query. What we will do over there means ETL. Second one we have is Power Pivot, where we will create a OLAP database or dataset. And third one is Power View, where we will create the reports. And fourth one is Power BI service, where we will do what? Admin activities. So these are the things we discussed in the introduction class. Let me quickly write them. So as I said that we can start any module parallelly. So this Power BI course is divided into 4 modules. Power Query, where we do ETL, and second one is Power Pivot, where we will create a data set, and the data set also call it as what? OLAP database. Third one is Power View, where we will create what? Reports. And fourth one is Power BI service, where we will do what? Admin activities. So for your information, you can start any module parallelly. ETL is a separate work, data modeling is a separate work, creating the reports is a separate work, admin activities is a separate work. Today we're going to start with one of the module called Power View, guys. So I already said in the introduction classes, we're going to start which module today? Power View. So what is the purpose of Power View software here? Power View is used to create what? Reports. We'll try to understand how to create the reports using the Power View. This is the easiest one out of these 4 works. Which work is easy means creating the reports is easy. Let's see. So in order to create the reports, in order to work with Power View, you need to open which software? This Power View is available in which software? Power BI Desktop. So you need to open Power BI Desktop here. How to open Power BI Desktop means just go here. You have a shortcut. Once you install, when you double click on it, it will open the Power BI Desktop. Okay, once it open the Power BI Desktop, you'll get a welcome screen or start screen. You'll get a welcome screen or start screen. So we are not going to do anything in this welcome screen. Just close this welcome screen. Once you close this, you will be landing in the report view. Report view is nothing but Power View software. Currently, I'm in which software now? Power View. When I'm in the Power View, you'll get some white space. We call it as report canvas. This is the place where you will build the visuals or build the report. In order to build the report here, what you need to have is what they are telling: add data to your report. Whatever you are going to develop in the Power BI Desktop, we generally call it as a report, guys. What we call it as? A report. So in order to create a reports or visuals here, first I need to load some tables into the Power Pivot. So currently, do you have any tables here? No, I need to load some tables here first. So what are the 2 ways you have to bring the tables to Power Pivot? Here, important thing is, in order to understand all the Power View concepts, you need to have some tables in where? Power Pivot. If you have the tables in the Power Pivot, the tables you can use it to create what? Reports. So we already know how to bring the tables to Power Pivot. So now I am in model view. Model view is nothing but Power Pivot software. We know how to bring the tables to the Power Pivot. How to bring the tables is using what? Get data. One way using get data. Second way is go to Power Query. In Power Query you can use what? New source. Either one is fine. Now I can just go to get data. I'll bring the tables. I want to bring the tables from Excel, guys. So I'm in the Power Pivot. I'll click on get data Excel. So I want to bring the tables from an Excel file called, so which is there in the Power BI introduction. I want to bring it from an Excel file called sample superstore. Once I open that Excel, it will show the list of tables in that Excel. You can select the tables what you want. Once after selecting the tables, in the right hand side, you can preview the data. When I select the orders table, it have proper data. When I select the people's table header is not populating properly. In the returns table also header is not populating properly. Do you click on load or transform data? Transform data. Few of the tables does not have proper data. Better you can take the table to the Power Query, and better you can transform the data over there. I can just go and click on transform data. When I click on transform data, the tables will open in Power Query where we can transform the data in the tables. Once you are done with transforming the data in the tables, you can load the tables to the Power Pivot. How can you load it back? Close and apply. When I click on close and apply, the tables will get into the model view, right? Once after loading the tables to the model view, if there is any missing relationships, we can establish the relationships. Now, if you go and check it between orders table and returns table, I don't have a relationship. I want to create a visual using orders table and returns table. To create a visual, what you need to have here? Relationship. To establish a relationship, you need to have what? Common column. What is the common column here? Order ID, order ID. Select the order ID,
already.
drag and drop on order ID. Okay, right. So now we given the relationship. Now in the Power Pivot, you have the tables, and between the tables you have the relationship. Now you can happily go to where? Power View or Report View, and you can happily build what now? Visuals. Collection of visuals, we call it as what? Report. So now when you are in the Power View, you have a report canvas. In this report canvas, I can start building the visuals. Collection of visuals, we call it as what? Report. Let's see this. So what we are going to understand in today's class is class 1. Today's class is class 1 in where? Power View. So what is the agenda for today's class 1 in the Power View is, first topic we will be discussing is introduction to Power View. Some basic introduction to Power View. So coming 3 weeks of time, we will extensively discuss only the Power View concepts, how to create reports. You already have some tables in the Power Pivot. You can use these tables and you can discuss all the Power View concepts now. Right. First one we'll try to understand is introduction to Power View. Second thing we'll try to understand is this complete uh, interface, we call it as Power BI desktop user interface. Power BI desktop user interface. We'll talk about Power BI desktop user interface. Second point. Once we talk about Power BI desktop user interface, then we will talk about, in short, user interface, we call it as UI. Third thing, we'll talk about one of the important topic called visual interactions. What is that? Visual interactions. What are the visual interactions? We'll discuss. These are the three topics we are going to discuss in today's class. Concentrate. So we already know some introduction to Power View, guys. So if someone asks you what is Power View, you need to tell that Power View is used to create what? Reports by taking data set as source. Is used to create reports by taking what? Data set as source. Whatever you created in the Power Pivot, we call that as a data set. The data set have data in the form of tables. You need to present the tables data in the visual format or what? Report format using what? Power View. Okay. This is the one line explanation what Power View do. Create reports by taking the data set as source. This one line we will discuss for coming 3 weeks of time, guys. So in Power View, how to create the reports by taking the data set as source, we'll try to understand. Here, the next thing is what it is used to create the reports, or we can even call it as what? Visuals. Reports will contain multiple visuals. What visuals means? Graphical representation of data. Graphical representation of data. Representation of data we call as visuals. Whatever the data we have in these tables, whatever the tables you loaded into Power Pivot, the tables you can see in where? Data pane. We call this as data pane. In the data pane you can see. Now whatever the data you have in the table format, you need to present that data in which format now? Visual format. Let's do that now. So first, once after this, we'll try to understand Power BI desktop user interface. This Power BI desktop user interface is divided into multiple sections. So what are the multiple sections you have is, first we'll discuss about the data pane. This one we call it as what? Data pane. First I'll discuss about the data pane. Second section we have is visualization pane. We call this as what? Visualization pane. Third thing we call it as filters pane. Terminology is important. Third thing we call it as what? Filters pane. Fourth thing we call it as what? Ribbon. The fourth one we call it as ribbon. The fifth one we call it as multiple views section. This is the fifth one we'll talk about. Sixth section we call it as report canvas, and seventh section we call it as pages. This Power BI desktop user interface is divided into how many sections totally? Seven. Let's quickly understand what each section is at a high level. What is the use of each section at a high level? Power BI desktop is divided into multiple sections. What is the first section you are seeing means? Data pane. We call it as what? Data pane. What the data pane will contains means the list of tables which you loaded into PowerPoint. Let's say there are sometimes we can load 20 tables also into PowerPoint. So now currently how many tables you loaded? Only three. In the company you might even load 20 tables also. When you load the tables into the PowerPoint, you need to use the tables to create the reports. In order to create the reports, you will go to report view. In the report view, where you can see the tables is in the data pane. So data pane will show the list of tables which we loaded into PowerPoint, guys. Data pane will show list of tables which we loaded into PowerPoint. So all the tables will be sorted in alphabetical order. So one advantage in the data pane is if you even load 20 tables, all the 20 tables will be sorted in alphabetical order. Table name starting with A first you can see, table name starting with B and towards Z. Why all the tables will be sorted in alphabetical order is for easy accessing the tables. When you have 20 tables, going and searching for the table will become difficult if they are not in the alphabetical order. Now, in the alphabetical, which alphabet will come first? O, P, R. If you even have other tables, let's say I will load some more tables. Click on get data. So I will load some more tables from Excel, EMP, DEPT, click on open. When I click on open, I'm selecting EMP table, DEPT table and managers table. All these three tables have perfectly correct data. What you can click on now? Load. When I click on load, the tables will go to where? PowerPoint. When you have all the three tables proper data, what you need to click on? Load. So when I click on load, just look at the order here. So where you are getting EMP table, DEPT table on the top. DEPT label you loaded just now. First you loaded which tables? Orders, peoples, returns. And then we loaded what? EMP, DEPT manager. Even though you loaded DEPT, EMP manager now, they are coming on the top. Why they are coming on the top? Tables are sorting in alphabetical order. Why the tables will be sorting in alphabetical order means for easy accessing purpose. So understand all the tables in the data pane will be sorted in alphabetical order. Okay. So now in order to create the visuals, let's say I have an orders table. Using the orders table, I need to create a visual here. I want to show what is the total sales amount. So where can we see the data in the table? I want to check the data. What data is there in the orders table? Where we can check the data? Data pane. You need to go to data view. There is a data view. When you go to data view, when I go to orders table, you can check it. Orders table have how many rows? Triple nine four rows. Each row have some sales value. I need to show what is the complete sales amount we received for all the triple nine four rows. How to show the complete sales amount here? First, you need to go to which pen? Visualization pen, and you need to choose what? One right visual here. What is the right visual to show sales? Card visual. When I click on card visual, it will add. When I add the card visual, so in this card visual, you need to show, you are planning to show which column data? Sales. In order to show sales, where you need to go? Data pane. In the data pane, you need to go to which table? Orders table. When I go and expand the orders table, you can see the columns. Which column data I need to show? Sales. You can select the sales column, you can drag it on top of visual. When I drag the sales column here, by default, it is doing what? Sum. How much sum of sales you are getting from all the orders? 2.3 million. 2.3 million. Understand here, when you expand any table, you can see the columns in it. In the data pane, when you expand the table, you can see the columns in it. Look at here in the data pane, in the data view. In the data view, what is the first column you have in the orders table? Now currently I'm in the orders table. What is the first column you have? Row ID. Second column, order ID. Third column, order date. So when I see orders table in the data view, row ID is the first column. When I go to report view, when I go to orders table, what is the first column you have? Category. Is it row ID? What we seen in the data view? What is the first column you see in there? Row ID. But when it comes to report view, what it is showing? category. What it might be doing here again? Even columns will be sorting in where? Alphabetical order. In the orders table, whatever the columns you have here, that columns are sorting in alphabetical order. Row ID column also available, but it is there at where P, Q, R. So, and when you expand any tables, we can see the columns in it. When we expand tables, we'll see columns, and all the columns will be sorted in again where? So alphabetical order. All the columns sorted in alphabetical order. So both tables as well as columns, it will be sorted in alphabetical order. Not only tables, even when you expand any table, their columns also sorted in alphabetical order. Only the reason is to access the tables and columns easily, they're sorting it, guys. Okay, simple. We understand data pen. What is the next pen? Visualization pen. So in the visualization pen, first below that you will have the visuals which we commonly used in Power BI, guys. Around how many visuals you are seeing here means 30 visuals. These visuals we used for presenting this tables data in the graphical format. Whenever we need to present this data in the graphical format, this tables data, use these visuals. In Power BI, we not only can present the data in the 30 visuals, we can present the data in 250 plus visuals, guys. How many visuals you can present the data? 250 plus visuals. Where do we have other visuals is? Go to the more options, click on get more visuals. When I click on get more visuals, I'll go to a page where we can find dozens of visuals here. We can use all these visuals. There is a word cloud visual. If I want to use, click on this visual, and there will be an option called add. What you are seeing here? Add. When I click on add, a visual will be added in the visualization pane now, word cloud visual. Okay, like this, you can use all these visuals for presenting this tables data in the graphical format. In Power BI, these are the visuals which we commonly used. What are the visuals you are seeing here? We call them as default visuals. What is the name for these visuals? Default. We not only present the data in the default 30 visuals, we can even present the data in where? So when I click on get more visuals, you'll go to the page. We call this as custom visuals. What is the name for these visuals? Custom visuals. We can even present the data in the custom visuals, but mostly we'll use the default visuals. When your client is not satisfied with this default visuals, then only we can go and bring what? More visuals, custom visuals. We'll understand how to bring it and how to use it. So for now, the main section in the visualization pane is it will contains the default visuals which we commonly used in Power BI to present the data in the graphical format. Let's say I have a order date column and I have a sales column. I have the data for 4 years. So we have data starting from 2014, 2015, 2016, and 2017. All the 4 years together, how much sales we are doing? 2.3. Now my client is asking to show year-wise sales. In order to show year-wise sales, we need to go and choose the right visual here. So what is the right visual for showing year-wise sales is line chart. We will discuss in the Power View why line chart is the right visual. In the line chart, what I need to show now is year-wise sales. How can I show that is? Go to the orders table. Which column? Order date. And when I expand order date, you will find the year. When I go and drag the sales, we can see the sales. Now go and enable the, now you are seeing the year names. I'm not able to see the sales. In order to get the sales there, go to format and you need to enable data labels. Now you can see which year is doing how much sales. Which year is doing highest sales out of 4 years? 17. Which year is doing least sales? 15. When you sum these four numbers, how much you will get? 2.3 million. Like this, whenever we need to present the table data in the graphical format, we need to choose the right visual here and we need to present in where? Graphical format. Remaining options, what we have here. So below the visualizations, you'll have field wells. Field wells. Below the field wells, you'll have drill through. All this I'll discuss in the coming classes. For now, the main thing in the visualization pane is you'll have the default visuals. The second section in the Power BI desktop user interface is, what is the name for it? Visualization pane. Visualization pane. So visualization pane will show the default visuals in Power BI, which we commonly used. Default visuals, which we commonly used. right? How many visuals we commonly used is, even though in Power BI you can present the data in 250 visuals, 99% of time when you are working in the companies you will use this default visuals only. So there are some cases when your client is not satisfied, then only we'll go and bring what? Custom visuals. Right. Once after this, the next section is, what is this? Filters pane. Filters pane. Once after the visualization pane, third section we'll be understanding is filters pane. What is the use of this filters pane is? Filters pane is used to show subset of data in the visuals, guys. Filters pane is used to show subset of data in the visual, subset of data in the visuals. For now, you just understand at a high level what is the use of this filters pane. About the filters, we'll discuss coming 3 hours of time. Tomorrow, day after tomorrow, and even next class. The one of the important topic in the Power View is what? Filters. 3 hours of time will extensively discuss filters itself. Right. For now, filters pane is used to show what? Subset of data in the visuals. Let's take an example. Currently in my orders table, how many regions data is there means when I go to orders table, I have a region column here. When I go to the region column, how many regions data we have is central, east, south, west. How many regions data? 4. So when I directly go and take one card visual, I'm going to page 2. I'm taking one card visual. In the card visual, when I go and drag the sales, how many regions sales value you are seeing now? All 4 regions. There are sometimes in this visual, instead of showing 4 regions data, your client might be asking to show only one region data, that is central region data. My table contains complete 4 regions data, but in the visual I need to show only one region data. Out of 4 region, one region is nothing but what? Subset. Nothing but what? Subset. To show this subset of data in the visual, what you need to use here? Filters. For now, just understand it on high level. Next classes we'll clearly discuss how it work. In this visual, I need to filter the data. You need to select the visual. You need to go to a section called what? Filters on this visual. We need to filter the data based on which column? Region. So drag the region here. Which region we are planning to show? Central. When I click on central, currently the visual is showing which region data? Central. Previously it shows how many regions data? 4. Now you are showing how many regions data? From the complete data to show subset of data, we will use which pane? Filters pane. For now, you just understand at a high level. What is the next section we have in the ribbon is, once after the filters pane, what is the next thing you have in the Power BI desktop user interface is ribbon, guys. So this ribbon will contains multiple tabs: home tab, insert tab, modeling, view, help. How many tabs you have currently means 5 tabs. When I go and select any visual, you are seeing 2 more tabs. When I am not selecting any visual here, how many tabs? 5. When I go and select one visual, you are seeing 2 more tabs called what? Format, data drill. When I go and select one table, you will see one more tab called what? Table tools. When I select one column, you can see one more tab called what? Column tools. This ribbon, the tabs will be changing based on the selection here, based on the selection. What this ribbon will contains is, ribbon will contains lot of tabs. If you see, you have a PowerPoint, so you have, so Excel. In Excel also you'll have ribbon. In the ribbon you will have options. In the same way, in the Word file also, you'll have ribbon. How many tabs you have? Home tab, insert tab, page layout tab, like this. So all the Microsoft products, what we commonly see is what? Ribbon, right? In the Excel file, you will find that ribbon. In the Word document, you will find that ribbon. And even the Power BI desktop also, you will find one ribbon here. So what that ribbon will contains is GUI options, guys. That ribbon will contains what? GUI options. So there is a GUI option with the name called what? Sort by column. There is a GUI option with the name called what? Data groups. Like this, when I go to insert, there is a GUI option called adding the images, adding the buttons, adding the shapes. Like this, lot of GUI options will be there in the ribbon. Let me write quickly here. So the next fourth section we are going to talk about is what? Ribbon. What ribbon will contains? Ribbon will contains multiple tabs. Multiple tabs. And each tab will contains what? Each tab will contains GUI options. Contains GUI options. We use the GUI options to complete the development of the visual. We use GUI options to complete the development of the visual. Development of the report. Whenever I need to complete the development of the report, I might need to make use of this GUI option. Let's say for the report, first thing we might add is a title to the report, or the first in the report, first thing we might add is a logo to the report. How can I add a logo? On the top left side, I might need to see my company logo. In order to add a company logo, you need to go to the ribbon. You need to use the right GUI option, which will help me to add a logo. How can I add a logo is go to the insert tab, go to where? Image. So in the insert tab, you have something called image. When I click on image, you can go to desktop. You can add any of the image here. There is one image with the name download. I can just add it. So when I add it, I can start moving it and I can keep it where I want that logo. Once after the logo, what is the next thing we might add to the report is one title. In order to write a title here, we need to add a text box. Where we can write the title here? Text box. You need to add one text box. Again, you need to go to insert and you need to click on a GUI option called what now? Text box. Like this, while you are developing the report, to complete the development of the report, you need to make use of these options, guys. So by end of the course, you'll get the clear idea about each and every option. Almost each and every option, you'll get an idea. When we want to use each option, you'll get an idea. For now, just understand at a high level. Ribbon contains multiple tabs. The tabs also changes based on the selection. When you don't select any visual, how many tabs you are seeing? Only five. When I select the visual, two more tabs. When I select the table, one more tab. When I select the column, one more tab. Right. So based on the tabs, you will see the different geo options. We'll discuss about all the options here. That is the ribbon. We'll talk more about that ribbon. Most of the time we'll spend with the ribbon only. Second one, the fifth one is once after the ribbon, what we are going to discuss? Multiple views. How many different views you have? Report view, data view, and model view. So even though it is a simple one, they're asking in interview what are the different views you have. We call this section as multiple views. How many different views you have is three views. First one is report view. Second one is data view, data view, data view. Third one is model view, model view. What you will do in the report view? I said that report view, what you will do? Create visuals. What you will do in data view? What you will do in the model view? Huh? Data modeling. In the model view, you will do what? Data modeling. In the data view, enhancing the data model with the DAX language. So in the model view, we'll give the relationships. Giving the relationships is nothing but what? Data modeling. In the data view, you'll select the table, you'll go to the table tools, you'll go to the calculations, and we will enhance the data model using a language called what? DAX language. So in the model view, we'll do data modeling work. In the data view, we will enhance the data model using a language called what? DAX language. In the report view, we'll create what? Visuals. So we already discussed this in the introduction classes. What is the sixth section you have? Report canvas, guys. So this time, next one is this report canvas. This is the sixth section. So this white space, we call it as report canvas. We know that report canvas is used for what purpose? Building the visuals. So they provided some white space. The major part in the Power BI desktop user interface is this white space only. This is used for building what? Visuals. Next one is report canvas. Report canvas is the place where we will build the visuals. Build visuals. Okay, so here one point you need to understand is whatever I am going to develop in the Power BI desktop, we call it as a report. That report will have multiple pages. Currently, this report is having how many pages? Page 1, page 2, page 3. Like this, you might even have multiple pages also. Sometimes we will build a report with only one page. Sometimes we will build a report with multiple pages, 2 pages, 3 pages. Depends upon how much analysis you need to do there. You'll have pages, and each page will contains what? Visuals. Each page will contains visuals. Now in the page 1, how many visuals you have? 1, 2. So collection of visuals is one page. Collection of pages is one. Collection of pages is what? Report. Report. Let me write here. So in the report canvas, we will build the visuals. So whatever you are going to develop in the Power BI desktop, we call it as what? Report. Report will contains what? Multiple pages. And once after the report, what is the next thing you'll have is page. Page will have what? Multiple visuals. Collection of visuals is nothing but one page. Collection of pages is nothing but a report. Generally, when you are developing some report, so in that report you might have multiple pages, and each page will have around 6 to 10 visuals roughly. Roughly, I'm telling. There are sometimes, so when you are using some visuals, the visual count will be restricted to 6. When you are using a small visuals here, it might even go till where 10 visuals also. A page will have multiple visuals here. So next section is, once after understanding report canvas, the last section you have in Power BI desktop user interface is pages section. Pages section. Let's say you created a page 3, and in page 3 you added the visuals, around 10 visuals you added. So now page 3 got completely filled with visuals. Now if you want to still perform some more analysis, you need to add which page here? Page 4. How to add the page 4 means, you can click on what? Plus button. When I click on in the pages section, we can add the new page, we can duplicate the page, we can rename the page, we can delete the page, and we can hide the page. So we can do 5 things in the pages section. What are the 5 things we can do is, in the pages section is used to add, rename, delete, duplicate, and hide the pages. Duplicate and hide the pages. So we will try to understand. So we know that when the page 3 is completely filled, if you want to still perform some more analysis, we might need to add the new page. So there are some times where we need to rename the page, we need to give the proper names to this page. Currently this page number is, you are seeing the name called page 3. Instead of this, right click and you can give a proper name. We'll see. So we need to give the proper name to the page, or sometimes you might create some extra pages which you don't want it. Let's say I don't want this page 2, you can delete the page. I don't want this page 3, you can delete it. So we'll discuss when to duplicate the page or when to hide the pages. We'll discuss in the coming classes. Fine, we understand at a high level. In the Power BI desktop we have 7 sections. So where we have each section, say let's say go to the ribbon. Ribbon is there in where? In Power BI desktop ribbon is available where? In the top or right side or left side, or where? In Power BI desktop user interface, where the ribbon is available? On the top. This is the ribbon. Go to the data pane. Data pane means it is available in Power BI desktop user interface in which side? Right side. This is data pane. Go to the multiple views section and go to the model view. So go to multiple views section means I'm asking to go to the left side, and when I ask you to go to the model view, I'm asking to go to this view. Go to the ribbon and go to the modeling tab. Ribbon and modeling tab means this. So when you know the, go to the filters pane, go to filters on this visual. When you know the terminology, user interface, for me explaining the things will become easy. So even though it's a boring concept, why I'm explaining this by taking some 20 minutes of time means, even tomorrow when you go for an interview, interviewer is asking a question, one question, you cannot tell that go there, there will be one option. You need to explain with the terminology. So carefully, even when I am explaining any topic which is theoretical, if you even though think that it is boring, you need to listen, guys. So why we are discussing this is strictly to answer some questions in the interview. So in an interview, when you are answering the questions, you must and should need to answer the questions with terminology. Otherwise he will easily identify you are a fake person, right? Terminology is important. Just concentrate the classes. So we are done with some basic introduction to Power BI or Power View. Now we'll talk about one practical concept called what? Visual interactions. We already done with understanding some introduction to Power View, and we discussed about Power BI desktop user interface. Next one is visual interactions, one of the important topic. So commonly you'll get the questions from the interview. Visual interactions. So what is this visual? To explain the visual interactions, I'll create a couple of visuals in this page, guys. I'll just go and quickly create couple of visuals. In order to explain about the visual interactions, I'll create couple of visuals here. First visual I will be creating here is a card visual. I'm in the page one, I'm adding one card visual. In this card visual, I need to show the sales. How to show the sales is, go to the orders table, select the sales column, drag and drop on top of visual. So you are showing the sales. Tell me the sales is for how many regions? Four regions. By default, the table is having four regions data. It will show all the four regions. I just want to add one border to this visual. Currently, I don't have a border. How to add a border? Select the visual, go to format, general, go to the effects. We can add what? Visual border. Along with the sales, I need to create another visual where I need to show the profit. How to show profit here? Take another card visual. In another card visual, we need to drag which column this time? Profit. When you drag the profit, this time it is showing the profits for how many regions by default? Four regions. You can select one card visual. So you can copy the format painter, you can paste it. Whatever the formatting you have done here, you'll get it. So once after this, I want to create another visual. I will reduce the size of this number. Where can we reduce the size of the number? Format, call out value. Let's make it 25. I'll give a small size here. Again, copy the format painter, paste it. Even we are reducing here. The next visual I need to create is, so create a visual to show category wise sales. Once after showing the sales and profit, I need to create a visual to show category wise what? Sales. To create a visual to show category wise sales, I can take one, which visual here? Pie chart. I'm just adding one pie chart here. In the pie chart, I'll try to show category wise sales. In order to show category wise sales, drag the category column on top of visual, drag the sales column on top of visual. Now I want to do some basic formatting. I want to stop this legend. I want to change this label style. How can we stop this legend? How can we change this label style to show category comma sales values? Go to format. You need to stop what? Legend, and you need to change the label style to category comma data value. Now I want to add one border to this visual. In order to add one border to the visual, select the visual, go to general effects. You can add the visual border. Once after showing the category wise sales, I'm just roughly creating couple of visuals. So I want to create another visual where I want to show region wise sales. In order to show region column and sales column, I'll just use a donut chart for now. You can use any visual for now. I'll use a donut chart here. I'll keep this donut chart below this, and I want to show in the donut chart region wise sales. In order to show region wise sales, drag the region column and drag the sales column. I want to even format this donut chart exactly like this pie chart. You can select the pie chart, copy format painter, paste it. Right. So lastly, I want to show subcategory wise sales. And one more visual I need to create now is, I need to go and create a visual to show subcategory wise sales. In order to show subcategory wise sales, I have a subcategory column and sales column. I need to show subcategory wise sales. I'll go and take one visual with the name called what here? Tree map. So I will use the tree map. For now, just use the visuals what I'm using here. Just this time, you no need to understand how we are creating the visual. Your concentration is just to understand about a topic called what? Visual interactions. About all these visuals, how they will work, we'll extensively discuss for 7 8 days of time. For now, just blindly create couple of visuals to understand this concept. Now I need to create a visual here where I need to show subcategory wise sales. Drag the subcategory and drag the sales. Now you are seeing the subcategory names, but you are not seeing the sales values. How to get that sales values here? Select the visual, go to format, visual formatting, data labels on this. Now I am able to see subcategory names and their sales values. How many subcategories we have totally? 17, and 17 sales values you are seeing. And you need to add one border here. Just go to the general effects, add one visual border. Fine. We created a couple of visuals just to explain the. So now currently in all the visuals you are seeing how many regions data? Four regions data. Okay, you are showing four region sales and four regions profit. My client is asking to show only central region sales and central region profit. How to show central region sales and central region profit means, you need to take one card visual. You need to drag the sales column. By default, it will show four region sales. I don't want four region sales. I want to show only central region sales. In order to show only central region sales, what you will apply? Filters. You'll select this visual, you'll go to the filters, and here you'll drag the region column and you'll filter for which region? Central. When I filter for central, it is showing only central region sales. Now I want to show central region profit. Copy the format painter, guys. I want to reduce the size. I want to show central region profit. In order to show central region profit, I want to take another card visual here. Into the another card visual, I need to drag the profit. By default, it will show all the four regions profit. I don't want four regions. I want only central region. How to show only central region here again? Filters. You need to select the visual. You need to go to filters and you need to drag the region column. You need to click on central. Once you show central region sales and profit, my client is asking to show east region sales and east region profit. East region sales and east region profit. Again, two more visuals you need to create, and again you need to filter the data based on which region? East region. So once they show east region sales and profit, they're asking to show south region sales and profit, another two visuals. Then they're asking to show west region sales and profit, another two visuals. So in the older days, whenever I need to see any subset of data, I need to create the visuals and I need to do what? Filters. But now with the visual interactions, you no need to do that, guys. Look at here. Initially, when you save this report, when you publish the report, when you share the report with the client, client can see in the page one how many regions data? Four regions data. Later on, when the client want to see, once he understand four regions, so what is the common requirement? See, let's say we have a training institute, guys. When I have a training institute, what training institute owner want to see first means, for this month, what is the total revenue we received? They want to see. Once they understand what is the total revenue for this month, next they want to see what? Each course wise. Power BI, how much it is? SQL server, how much it is? Power apps, how much it is? So he might need to see each course wise. Here also, when you create a report, when you share the report with the client, first client might need to see and understand complete data. Once he understand the complete sales and complete profit, then you want to understand central region how much sales and central region how much profit. So to show the central region sales and profit, you are creating the visuals and you are filtering the data. But you don't want to do this. What you can do is go to the visual where we have central region. Out of all these five visuals, how many visuals you have in this page one now? Five. One, two, three, four, five. Out of five visuals, in which visual you have a region column? Donut chart. This visual name is what? Donut chart. Go to the visual where we have region column and go and click on a region called central region, guys. Which region here? Central. When I go and click on central region, it is changing the values. Now tell me, it is showing the sales for what? Central. It is showing the profits for what? Central. So just previously, when the visual interactions concept is not there, in order to show central region sales and central region profit, we are creating the visuals and we are doing what? Filtering the data. But this time you no need to do that. As soon as I go and click on central, currently how many regions it is showing means four. When I just go and click on central, is the numbers changing here? Yes. So it is showing central region sales and central region profit. Even when you go and filter the data, what data you are seeing, the same data I'm seeing with one click, right? So when you select one data point in one visual, all other visuals in the report page will filter the data. All other visuals in the report page, what it will do? Filter the data. Why it will filter the database? Because of what? Visual interactions. Let me write one point. When you select one data point, when we select a data point in one visual, all other visuals in the report page, all other visuals in report page will filter the data. Report page will filter the data. Because of what? Because of visual interactions. See, look at here. When I don't select any region, when I don't select any region, currently it is showing technology how much sales. How many categories we are selling is three categories: technology, furniture, office supplies. Now this technology 836 sales is for how many regions? Four regions. When I go and click on central, previously how much it shows? 836K. Now technology is showing how much sales? 170. For 836 is for how many regions? Four regions. 170 is for which region? Only central. Only central. Now look at here. Phones is doing how much sales totally? 330K. 330K phones is sales for how many regions? Four regions. When I go and click on central, it is showing how much? Previously it shows how much? 330K. 330K is for how many regions? Four. This 72K is for which region? Central. What we observed is when you select one data point in one visual, all other visuals are changing the data. All other visuals are filtering the data. So this is because of the visual interactions. What is the advantage of this is you no need to go and create dozens of visuals. When visual interactions is not there, in order to see central data, I need to create other visuals. And in order to see east region, now in order to see east region sales and profit, do I need to create two more visuals? Means no need. When I go and click on east, it is showing the data for what here? East region sales and east region profit. So how many subcategories we are selling totally? 17. All the 17 subcategories doing how much sales? 2.3 million. All the 17 subcategories doing how much profit? 286. I want to understand only phones is doing how much sales and how much profit. For that, I can just go and click on phones. Now, what is the sales amount you are seeing is for how many subcategories? Only for phones. The profit amount you are seeing is for which subcategory? Only the phones. Right. So in any visual, whether it is a, when you select any data point, now currently you are seeing the sales and profit for how many categories? How many categories? Three categories. Whatever the information you are seeing is three categories. We are selling three categories. When I go and click on technology, it is showing the information for how many categories now? Only one. What is that? Technology. In any visual, whether it is a pie chart or donut chart or tree map, any visual, when you go and select one data point, when you select one data point in one visual, all other visuals in the report page will filter the data for that data point. Data point. Fine. So that is what we call it as visual interactions. What is the advantage of visual interactions is with less number of visuals, we can perform lot of analysis, guys. With less advantages of visual interactions. So when visual interactions concept is not there, you need to create dozens of visuals to perform the analysis. With visual interactions, what is the advantage is with less number of visuals, we can perform more analysis. Fine. Now we will talk about something called types of interactions. So visual interactions means you will understand what it is. Now we'll talk about something called what? Types of interactions. Visual interactions. A common interview question: how many types of visual interactions we have? How many types of visual interactions we have is three types. What is the first type of visual interaction we have is highlight action. What is the second type of visual interaction we have is filter action. What is the third type of visual interactions we have is none action. So they will ask you what is visual interactions first. You need to tell that this point. Once they ask you what is visual interactions, they'll ask you next what types of visual interactions. You need to tell these three types. You need to explain this. So first interaction type is highlight action, guys. Look at here. To explain the highlight action, understand here how many categories we are selling? Three categories. How many subcategories we are selling? 17 subcategories. All the 17 subcategories which we have comes under three different categories, guys. Comes under what? Three different categories. Look at here. I'll go and take two visuals. In one table visual, I am going to drag the category. How many categories it is showing here? Three. In another table visual, I am going to drag subcategory. So when I go and drag subcategory, how many subcategories it might show? 17. When I go and click on furniture here, when I go and click on furniture, how many subcategories it is showing? Four. So when I select one data point in one visual, other visual is filtering the data. Because of which feature it is filtering the data? Visual interaction. So when I go and click on office supplies, how many subcategories it is showing? 3 plus 3 equal to 6, 6 plus 3 equal to what? 9. For furniture, 4. For office supplies, 9. And then lastly what? Technology. Technology contains what? 4. Accessories, copiers, missions and phone. So furniture 4, office supplies 9, technology 4. Totally how much? 17. What we understand is under each category there are subcategories. Subcategories. Now we are trying to understand which interaction first. Highlight action. What is this highlight action? I'm trying to talk about it. When I go and select technology here, now in this visual, all the 17 subcategories got highlighted now. Every subcategory have a dark color. Every subcategory is showing one number. Technology is doing how much sales, guys? 836. I want to understand that 836 technology contains how many subcategories? Technology totally how much it is doing? 836K. I am curious to understand this 836K sales. How much I am getting from accessories? How much I am getting from copiers? How much I am getting from missions? How much I am getting from phones? To understand that, you no need to go and create additional visuals. Go and just click on what here? Technology. When I click on technology, the related data of technology will be highlighted in this visual. If you see this visual, only 4 subcategories got highlighted. What are that 4 subcategories? Phones, missions, accessories, copiers. Remaining all are grayed out, and the sales numbers it is showing what? 0K. So phones is doing out in the technology. Which one is doing highest sales? Phones. Second highest sales? Missions. Third highest sales? Accessories. Least sales? Copiers. Tell me when you sum these four numbers, What might be the number you will get? 836k. Technology is doing 836k. That 836k, each subcategory, how much it is doing, you can see in this visual. Now, when I select one data point in this visual, that relevant data it is highlighting in the other visual. This kind of interaction, we call it as which interaction? Highlight action, yes. Important point you need to understand is Power BI will give the first priority to highlight action, guys. Power BI will give the first priority to which action? Highlight. Power BI will give in the visual interactions also. You have a lot of interactions here. How many interactions you have? Three. Highlight, filter, none. Out of these three interactions, which interaction Power BI will give the first priority? Highlight. So Power BI will give first priority to which action means highlight action. So if observe here one more time. When I go now, how many regions you have here? Data, four regions. This phones is doing four regions, 330k sales. When I go and click on central, just carefully observe, it is highlighting a part of this. This complete phones is for how many regions? Four regions. This highlighted area is for which region? Central. When I select central region here, in this visual, what it is doing is it is highlighting the relevant data. It is highlighting the corresponding data for what? Central. And one more time, look at here. In this, this technology sales is how much? 836k. This 836k is for how many regions? Four regions. When I go and click on central, so here what we observed is, so previously it is highlighted all this. That number is 836k. 836k is for how many regions? Four regions. When I go and click on central here, it's highlighting a part of that. This highlighted part is for which region now? Central. How much it is? 170k. Right. So here, when you select one data point, Power BI will try to highlight the data in other visuals. First priority, it will give for which action? Highlight action only. There are some visuals where we cannot highlight the values. Look at here. When I go and click on central, I can highlight the central area here. When I go and click on central, I can highlight the central area here. Why? Because you have some area here, we can highlight it. But when I go and click on central, can I highlight a number here? So do you have any area here? So 2.3 million is there. When I go and click on central, can I highlight only this part? Can I grade out this part? Means no, it is not possible. When you can highlight the data means when you have some area like this, when you click on central, that central data you can highlight. When you have some area like this, when I go and click on, you can highlight. There are some visuals which will not support highlight action, guys. Important point you need to understand is Power BI will give the first priority to what? Highlight action. There are some visuals where highlight action will not support. There are visuals where highlight action will not support. Highlight action will not support. So if you see this in this number, I cannot highlight a part of the number. In this number also, I cannot highlight a part of the number. Whenever you are not able to highlight, next priority Power BI will give to which action? Filter action. So next priority, filter action. When it will give the priority to filter action? When it is not able to what? Do what? Highlight. There are some visuals where we cannot highlight. When you are not able to highlight, then second priority is for which action? Filter action. By default, between the visuals, either you will have highlight or either you will have filter, but never what? None. You will never have the none. If a visual is supporting highlight action, it will highlight. If the visual is not able to support highlight action, then filter. But you will never have what? None action. So here, when I go and select central here, in this visual, what it is doing is, what it is doing? Filter. Why it is filtering the numbers is, I cannot highlight a part of this. In this visual, what it is doing? Highlight. In this visual, what it is doing? Highlight. Tell me again. I'll go and click on technology here. When I click on technology, what it is doing here? Highlight or filter? Highlight. Here, highlight. In these two visuals, filter. So we understand, guys. By default, either it might be a highlight action, it might be a filter action. We never have by default which action? By default, we never have none action. None action. So let's talk about some more things. I will just duplicate this page one, guys. How can you duplicate a page one? Before I go on change, so let me write one point. There are some times clients will ask you to change the default visual interaction behavior, guys. There are sometimes clients will ask you. clients will ask you to change default interactions. Default interactions. What are the default interactions I said? If a visual support highlight, the default interaction is what? Highlight. If a visual is not supporting highlight, next default interaction is what? Filter. There are sometimes clients will not like the default interactions. They will ask you to do what? Changes. So how to changes, do the changes is, before I go and make the changes to the default interactions, I'll make a copy of this page. How can you get a copy of this page is right click on it. You have an option called what? Duplicate the page. So in the duplicated page, we'll have default interactions only. What you will have? Default. I'll go and make the changes in which page now? Page one. Page one. So my requirement is when I go and click on technology, it is highlighting technology related subcategories. When I go and click on furniture, it is highlighting, when I click on furniture, how many subcategories it is highlighting? Chairs, tables, furnishing, and bookcases. How many subcategories? Four. My requirement is when I click on furniture, why you need to show remaining subcategories which are related to office supplies and technology, why you need to show zero numbers here. So when I click on furniture, the best way to show is only the four subcategories which are related to what? Furniture. When I go and click on technology, why you need to show technology related one with highlight, why you need to show other one with grayed out? Do you do any analysis with this grayed out one? No. So only your concentration will be this four. Technology is doing 836K. I want to understand what are the subcategories we have, how much it is contributing. Furniture is doing 742K. I want to understand what are the different subcategories we have under furniture, how much it is contributing. I don't want to bother about this remaining thing. Now, here instead of highlighting, if you can do filtering, you will not see this grayed out one. Yes or no? So when you perform highlight action here, it will highlight the relevant subcategories. So the other subcategories it will grayed out. My intention is I don't want to show the grayed out subcategories here. I want to see only the four subcategories which got highlighted. So currently when I select any data point here, it is highlighting. Instead of highlighting, client is expecting what here? Filtering. Filtering means only relevant data it will show. So remaining all the data it will filter. Right. So I am just giving a requirement. When I click on furniture, currently in this visual, what it is happening when I click on furniture? Highlighting. Let's leave it to highlight. In this visual, currently what it is happening? Highlight. Instead of highlight, I need to change it to what? Filter. In these two visuals, currently what is happening? Filtering. Instead of filtering, I need to make it none. In these two visuals, I need to make it what? None. None means no change. It need to remain same. So currently 2.3 it need to show all the time 286. When I click on furniture, it is changing the values to furniture. I need to make them remain same. I need to allow them to change only this visual and this visual. So what we are planning to do is now change the default interactions. What is the steps to follow to change the default interactions is select the source visual where you will select a data point. Important, concentrate. Select the visual where you need to select the data point. In which visual you are planning to select a data point now? Pie chart. And then go to format tab. Go to the ribbon and go to which tab? Format tab. In the format tab, you will have what? Edit interactions. When I click on edit interactions, on the top of the visuals, you are seeing extra buttons now. Yes or no? So on the donut chart, how many buttons you are seeing? Three buttons. First button is for what? Filter. Second button is for what? Highlight. Third button is for what? Then how many interactions you are seeing in the donut chart? Three. When you go to the tree map, filter, highlight, none. But when you go to the card visual, filter, none. What is missing here? Highlight. I already said that what? There are visuals where highlight action will not support. Which visual is not supporting here? Card visuals. So in the card visuals, it will support only two interactions, filter and none. You don't bother about it. See here. So when there is some area, only that visuals will support what? Highlight. If there is some area like this, only that visuals will support what? Highlight. If there is no area, they will not support which action here? Highlight. Then you will find how many interactions? Two. Some visuals will have all three interaction types: filter, highlight, none. Some visuals will have only filter and none. How can you understand what is the current interaction? When I select a data point here, how can you understand what is the current interaction here? So out of the three buttons, which button is black? That is the current interaction. So do you have black here for filter or highlight? Highlight. That means in this visual currently what interaction it is happening? Highlight. In this three buttons, which one is black? Highlight. Current interaction is in this two buttons, which one is black? Filter. That means here what is the interaction now? Filter. So now in this visual, what you are planning to keep? Highlight only, right? You don't touch it. In this visual, what you are planning to have? Filter. Go and click on it. Now in this visual, what is the interaction now? Filter. In these two visuals, what you are planning to have? None. None. You are done with making the changes, right? So if you don't want to see these buttons now, go and click on edit interactions one more time. When I go and click on edit interaction one more time, now am I seeing this buttons now? No. Now you just tell me, when I go and click on technology, what happens in this visual? Highlight or filter? Highlight. We change it to default. In this visual, when I go and click on technology, what happens? Will it highlight or filter? You change from highlight to where? Filter. In these two visuals, will it filter or make it none? None. Look at here. When I go and click on technology, so it is showing technology related subcategories or not. Technology is doing 836K. That 836K, how you are getting, you can see it. Technology, when I go and click on technology, is there changing the data here? No. Why? Because you select none. Right, guys. When I go and click on furniture, it is showing what here? Furniture related subcategories. So when I go and click on office supplies, what it is showing here? Only office supplies related subcategories. Right. Now I'll ask a question here. You just tell me, when I go and click on region here, in this visuals, will the data change or remain same? When I go and click on central here, in these two visuals, will the data remain same or will it change? Same or change?
Will change.
Change, sir.
It will change.
Mm.
It will change.
Change,
So why it will
change,
change means,
change, sir.
why it will change means, understand an important point. By selecting this visual as the source, this visuals as the target, you change what? Edit interactions, visual interactions. By this visual as the source, remaining visuals as the target, we have not made the change. Look at here. When I go and click on central region, as usual, it will do what? Highlight. As usual, it will do what? Highlight. As usual, it will do what? Filter. As usual, it will do what? Filter. When I go and click on central, it is highlighting the data, filtering the data, and filtering the data. My requirement is, when I go and click on central here, instead of highlighting here, I need to do what? Filter. Instead of highlighting here, I need to do what? Filter. Instead of filtering here, I need to make it what? None. How to change it now again? Select the source visual, go to format, edit interactions. Except the source visual, remaining all the visuals you'll see interaction buttons. Now currently it is doing highlight here. Instead of highlight what? Filter. Here, instead of highlight what? Filter. In these two visuals what? Then once you are done with making the changes, you can click on edit interactions button one more time. Now, when I go and click on central here, what is happening here? Highlighting or filtering? Filtering. Now you are not seeing grayed out area or filled area. Filtering. So in these two visuals, what is now? None. Now you just tell me. When I go and click on phones, in this visual, will the data filter or will it remain same? When I go and click on phones, will the data change here? Will it remain same? It will change.
Data change.
It will change. When I go and click on phones, it will show phones related sales and profit. Why it is showing phones? So I have not changed it. This visual as the source, I change the visual interactions. This visual as the source, I change it. But this visual as the source, it is default case. When I click on phones, in this visual, is it highlighting or filtering? Highlighting.
Filtering.
It is doing what? Highlighting the phones related data. Phones will comes under where? Technology. The technology data is highlighting. In this visual, what it is doing? Highlighting. In these two visuals, what it is doing? Filtering. Default interactions, guys. So by this time, you need to have an idea what is highlight action, what is filter action, and what is none action. So, and how to change the default interactions also we discussed. There are some times your client will ask you, between every visual, try to have the filter action only. So now what my client is asking is, so in the page, in this page, duplicate page, every interaction will have what interaction now? Default. I have not any made any changes here. Before I make the changes in the page one, I duplicated this page. When you duplicate the page, when I go and click on technology, what is happening here? Filtering here, highlighting. My client is asking, between every visual, they need to have the filter action. Power BI is giving the first priority to which interaction now? Highlight. Instead of that, there are some times they will ask you to change everywhere, wherever highlight action is there, they will ask you to change to what? Filter action. So So some instead of highlighting the values in the other visuals, when you make filter, it will give the better appearance. That is the reason between every visual your client might ask you to have what interaction filter. Understand? Between every visual, between every visual in a report page in a report, client is expecting which action? Expecting which action? Filter action. Now, when I go and select technology, it is highlighting. When I go and click on central region, it is highlighting. When I go and click on phones, it is highlighting. If there is a possibility, it is doing what? Highlight. What they're expecting, wherever highlight is there, they're expecting what? Filter. One way to do change is you need to go to each individual visual. You need to go to each individual visual and you need to go to format. You need to click on edit interactions. Wherever highlight is there, you need to change it to what? Filter. Going to each individual visual, making the change will take time. First, you need to go to this visual and you need to select filter here and you need to select filter here. Then you need to go to this visual. You need to select filter here. You need to select the filter here. Then you need to go to the third visual. You need to select filter here. You need to select the filter here. Yes or no? Instead of going and doing in three different visuals, there is a other easy way, guys. What is the other easy way is go to file menu. In the file menu, there is something called what? Options and settings. Options. There is one setting in the report and current file, and in the current file go to report settings. In the report settings you will have a section with the name called what? Visual options. There is a third checkbox. What is the third checkbox name? Check it, read it. Change default visual interactions from where? Cross highlighting to cross filter. So highlighting or cross highlighting both are same. Highlighting or cross highlighting or cross filtering or filtering both are same. So where you have that setting is, so my requirement is instead of going to each individual visual, instead of changing the interactions visual by visual, there is one setting. Go to the file menu, options and settings, options, current file, where? Report settings, visual options. You need to check which checkbox. Third, change the default visual interactions. Wherever highlighting is there, we're asking to change it to what? Filtering. When I press OK, now just tell me, when I go and click on technology, will it highlight or filter? Filter. Will it highlight or filter? Filter. Look at here. When I go and click on technology, what it is doing? Filtering. What it is doing here? Filtering. Now tell me, when I go and click on region here, will it highlight or filter? Filter. Here also, will it highlight or filter? Filter. When I go and click on technology, it is filtering technology related, central related data only. Central related data. When I go and click on phones, what it is doing here? Highlighting or filtering? Filtering. In all other visuals, it is filtering. So there are some times where clients will ask you to change the default interaction between every visual to what action? Interaction. So where we can change it is in the file menu, right? So this is all about visual interactions, guys. Finally, what we understand about the visual interactions is with less number of visuals, we can perform lot of analysis, guys. Believe me. So previously, technology is doing 836K sales. I want to understand under technology, what are the subcategories we have? Each one, how much it is contributing. Previously, you need to create a visual with the subcategory wise sales and you need to filter the data for what? Technology. Now you don't need to do that. Go and just click on technology. In the other visual, it is showing what? Subcategory wise sales for what? Category is technology. So in one go, you can understand this number, how you are getting this number from each subcategory, right? Right. Go through the video and understand visual interaction concept thoroughly, guys. Important concept. So even when you are building the visuals, clients will ask you to make some changes. You need to have a thorough knowledge about this. So whether you don't want to spend much time here, but visual interactions, whatever I discussed in the last 30 minutes, that class is important. Go through it. So let's go with some questions now. And one more thing before we stop, just wait, guys. So now I want to see central and east region together, how much sales and how much profit. When I go and click on central, it is showing what? Only central. When I go and click on east, it is showing only what? East. Here I want to see both central and east together. What you need to do is client. So when you save this report, when you publish the report to Power BI service, when you share with your client, when your client click on central, he is seeing central data. When he click on east, he is seeing east data. So when he want to see both regions data, hold the control button, go and click on another region. Now currently the number which you are seeing for how many regions? Central and east. So like this you can even select two data points also. In visual interactions I shown you till now only one data point. Now central and east, how to select another region client? Hold the control button in the keypad. You need to tell your client, when your client is asking to show two regions data here, you need to tell your client hold the control button and select it. So you not only can select two data points in one visual, you can even select two different visuals also. Let's say I want to see central region, technology, sales value and profit value. First select central. How to select another data point here? Technology. Now how many filters you will have? Region equal central, category equal to what? Technology. It is showing the sales for what? Central region, technology category, what is the sales? Central region, technology category, what is the profit? How many filters it got applied here? Two filters. Like this, remember, you can select multiple filters also by holding which button? Control button. Control button. Not only one data point. Visual interactions, you can even hold multiple data points in the same visual. You can even hold two different data points in two different visuals by holding the control button. Right? So this is all about the visual interactions. Tomorrow is the class number 2 in the power view. In the class 2 we'll discuss about filters in power view, guys. One of the important topic, we'll talk about what? Filters in power view. Let me stop here. We'll go with some questions now.